Hey everybody, welcome to Adventures with Peps. We are back. The box is out, the journal's out. You know what that means. We are designing another block for Judge Dredd. Now, if you remember correctly, this is how we did the Dan Abnett block all the way back. So you're probably thinking, John, you've not finished Dan Abnett block. Why are you creating another block? Well, the answer's simple. You can't have one block in a sector. There has to be a few. So we're going to start working on the second block. And I think when you hear the name, you may understand why it's important to get this done before we start Slaine. Let me throw that down. So the block is going to be called the Pat Mills block. Dun dun dun. Right, let's find a page. Right, this is from when we did Benedict. So let's take that page, clip out. Look at that. So as you can see, I have obviously my opening page. We then have the sector house, which I might add color to at some point. I'm not sure. I have space to put some notes in there. Then of course we have the Dan Abnett block, which is coming along nicely. I've still got a lot to explore within this single block. But I think it's time for a new block. We're not going to do it on scrappy line paper. We're going to do it inside this book. Going to be a little bit professional, and this is probably my last video of I've forgotten what year we're in, 2024 going into 2025. Hopefully I can get this all done before the end of the year. That's too big. Let's just clamp it that way. So book is open. Let's start reading through my little manual, my little cheat guide, City Blocks. This is from the 1980s Judge Dredd range, back when Games Workshop had the IP. Sorry, just messing with my lamps. Get a bit better light on everything. There we go. And this is a great resource. If you ever want to see inside the book, let me know. I can mess around a bit more with it, show you certain sections. Anyway, we are going to work our way through some dice rolls and work out what the Pat Mills block is going to look like. Right, so let's kick things off. The block type, this is a nice easy section. So you roll a D100 and we get a 94, which is, we almost hit the special column. Instead, we are getting a con app. So let's write some of this down. I need a pen. That's what I need. Okay. So block name is simple. Block name, Pat Mills. On the off chance, Pat Mills, you watch this, thank you very much for all your 2000 AD amazing stories. I can't wait to build out this block. What did I say it was? It was a con app. Floors. This is the important part. How many floors are we going to have to build? It is 100 times a D10. That would make it way too short. So we are going to override a roll of a 1. This is my game. I can do it all. 10 with flipped. I don't want 1,000 floors. How big is Dan Abnett? 1,000 floors seems crazy large. I had 800 floors. So you know what? 1,000 isn't actually that far off. Let's go with it. We're running with it. We've got 1,000 floors on the Pat Mills block. It's technically bigger than the Dan Abnett one now. So 1,000 floors. Floor area, square meters. So a D4. Oh my God, this is like picking some dice out here. Do I have a D4? Guarantee you I don't. So I'm going to roll a D6 and we'll just treat it like a D3. We got a 3 anyway. So that's pretty damn big. So floor area. Don't really need this. That's a bit overkill, I think. But floor area, so we got 3 times 2,500, so 7,500 square meters. Right, so that is it. Block types, conapps are lower level, high quality apartment blocks occupied by the well-doers. So background. Originally, I'm going to say this out loud, then I'll write it down so you don't have to watch me write. Originally, this was going to be a up-and-coming wealthy block. Everyone had robot butlers. And then the flood came and it split the block into, as it was on the harbour location. The lower levels and basements have become a feral playground filled with barbarians and mutants, and then the upper levels have actually become the playground of the robots, with humans acting as servants. There's a couple of humans that are higher up, but we will go through that at a later date. Right, I've written all that. Now it's time to think how it's going to look. So we need the ground level. So this is the ground level. And then, God, we got 1,000 blocks to work with here. I want the basement level. It's going to be pretty big. Probably a third of it is underground. And then we've got the flooded region, which will be this section here. And then everything else above it. That makes sense, right? Yeah, let's go with that. So we'll call this 100 floors. So floors 0 to 100. And then we got -1 to what? -500? No, probably less than that. Let's go -300 this way. And then up here we got, so that's 300, 400. That leaves us 600 floors going up. So +1 or +101 to 600 at the top here. No, yeah. 600, 700, 1,000. Yes, I can do math. I can do math, right. I'm not going to draw anything yet because we don't know what we've got. So elevators, it's a conab. So there's 1 to 2 elevators. That's easy enough. Let's say 2 elevators. We don't really need to know this unless we actually go crazy into the block, I guess. Anti-grav. Let's say D. Oh, none. No anti-grav. 1 set of stairs. And 1 service shaft. Right, now we're getting somewhere. I'm not going to worry about making the floor plans. General layout, we're not too worried about. Special floors, roll a D6. Alright, so every floor we need to roll. Oh look, there's no chance of any specials in a con app. That sucks. It's mostly apartments and hyperlux. Okay, that's easy enough. So the building is mostly... building is made up. I'm going to pause here because you don't need me. Well, okay, as it is mostly a simple... a very simple building, we don't actually have to do a huge amount here. So we'll start off with the flooded area. So all this is water. We'll just do this for now to represent that. Nice flooded region. Divides the block in 2. Now obviously this way has to still have a means of getting out. So we'll start off with some basic shapes. I feel like the basement levels are going to be kind of like this. drilled into the ground around it. It's going to be wider at the bottom because it's acting like a screw almost. I imagine they screw these in. So we got 300 levels. This has all gone feral. So we'll work that out later. And then we've got the above water. So this would have been a flooded entrance. It's going to be here somewhere. But what kind of shape do we want? During Pat Mills' era of Judge Dredd, blocks were very curvy. So I think we're going to go with that more organic structure. Remembering that this will be the top. Actually, I'm not going to have full floors at the top. It's going to be like a penthouse. And then on this side, it's going to look very weird indeed. Just remember, I'm building out shapes here. This might not be the final look. We'll probably fast forward whilst I'm doing a lot of this, because it is just blocking in ideas at this stage. I think something like that would work. Now this is technically a window. And a window, or maybe a maintenance bay. I don't know, something like that. It's weird because, like, the Dan Abnett block had a lot of options because it wasn't a con-app. It was your classic block. But we got to maybe work out some, like, special things about it that can make it seem a bit more interesting than what it is. Because at the moment, it is just units. There's not much else to it. There's credits, Hablux, Jetball Stadium, elevator service shafts. Okay, we'll go with this for now. So I'm gonna pause actually. Here we go. I knew something didn't seem right. I was missing some stuff, and it's in the main book. That's why. So total pop, here we go. We're meant to use the 2 books. I forgot. My bad everyone. So let's have a look what we got going on now. So con app, total height, we've done the height already. We can do a D10 times 5 per level. So population, we have not done population. Now I am not going to roll a D10 times 5 1,000 times. So we're going to do it and then times it by 1,000 at the end. So it's saying 10 people per level over 1,000 levels. It's a pretty small population. Whether that population will exist still is another matter. We then move into the service roads, and I'd already drawn in a load, so after this roll I realised I had way too many, so I decided to scrub a few out and fix the errors I'd made. I like the layout of that road, so I'm going to leave it in. I'm going to take out this one because this is going to become a proper hoverport. I'm going to get rid of that, that's not needed. And this one, yeah, I really messed up on this front. There we go, that should be alright. Then we have promenades. Oh no, hoverports is a D4 -3. So realistically, you only get it on a high roll. And I rolled a 6, so we are good. Now it turns out I was looking at the completely wrong one. I was looking at Conapps instead of the block tower. But it doesn't really matter. One is more than enough. Oh no, I am on the correct one. Oh my god, I've lost the plot. Lost the plot. Stairs, we're not worried about showing off those. We're not worried about elevator. block park. I kind of want the entire lower floor to be the block park, so I'm not too worried about that. That's going to be my Slaine-esque section of the building. We then get promenades. What's this? A D3 -1. So we've got 3 -1. There's 2 promenades. Looking at where the levels are on everything, they're all going to end up in this flooded region. So I'm just going to note down promenade. It doesn't matter that there's 2 floors. It's just like a dual level promenade at the end of the day. And then I'm looking at these numbers, and they are all within my flood zone. So the shopping centre's gone, the med centre's gone, the school is gone, the library's gone. Oh wow, they're all in the flood zone. Let's make a note of all that. Can't believe it, I flooded it out. Shopping mall. Yep. Anything that's in that first 100 levels, which seems to be all of these, are just gone. They're flooded. Love it. So we don't need that book anymore. All right, with the book now finished, I'm going to start drawing in some details. I want to make sure it looks 3D, so I'm just roughing out where I can put stuff in to make it look a bit more 3-dimensional for me. This is going to take a while, guys, so I might skip forward because there's not much to chat about. I'm just, as you can see, I'm going in and I'm just curving stuff. If you have any questions, drop them below and I'll try and answer all of them as best as I can. But yeah, there's not much to show at this stage. Do a quick check-in as stuff has progressed. As you can see, we're now getting more of a layout going on here. So I have decided that the top half above the flooded area is ruled by a human elite citizen class. The rich people live in this section here. They are weighted on hand and foot by the robots that pretty much do everything in this block. Then this section here, which would be the signage area, is where the main inhabitants live. Not very exciting. These are just wealthier upper class citizens of Mega City 1. They have the hoverport. This is where the new shop area has been created around the hoverport. Goods come in, goods go out. This road up here is purely for the elite to move around the city as they see fit. Let's just clear that a little bit. Then we have more shops on this side near the gigantic window, and also we have the road that comes in that brings the supply in. This entire level is going to be the workshops where the robots that service the upper class are built, along with the battle droids. And the battle droids fight in the arena, which is also located roughly around here. We're going to create like some gladiator rules. ABC Warriors are basically going to get used for that scenarios. Beneath them is the salvage yards. This is the crew that are trying to work to recover the flooded sections of the block. We've got about 100 sections that are flooded. Obviously, this is where the schools, the promenade, the original shopping centres were. There's money to be made here, so we're going to have some weird like salvage teams that live here. Not entirely sure how that's going to work. We might even have maybe mutants, have like Defoe-esque characters kicking around in this area. We then have the humans that are trapped underwater. Now, like all good things, there's still power beneath the waves, but humans have regressed. Like all good humans, we don't get along with each other, so when given the opportunity, of course we're going to regress. So they're now basically with technology, but slightly medieval-esque, running around with simple weapons because any real technology is getting smashed and broken beyond repair. There's no droids below the water level. The park that did exist down here with genetically modified trees and grass that had groundskeepers looking after them, those droids are all gone now, meaning that the grass and the trees have grown wild and they've spread throughout all these levels, creating a foresty dark area. And then the lower levels, looking at around -200 to 300, have become home to some mutants that have managed to sneak in from the water. And they are known as the Fomorians, and you can guess which figures I'm going to use for that. So as you can tell, I am heavily leaning into Slaine for the lower halves of this building. And then the upper halves is going to be ABC Warriors. I'm going to keep drawing, I'm going to keep messing around. I'll come back with a finished drawing for you all to check out later. Right, final check-in as I finish up this drawing. As you can see, I'm pretty much there. The windows are all going in. So this is probably a good time to say like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you all in the new year very, very soon. If you want to make sure you don't lose me in January, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow button, come hop onto Discord, and I'll catch you in the new year. Cheers to an amazing 2024. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and then go watch this one. This one up here. Give it a click. Bye-bye.